Hey everybody, I'm Chris Brown. I work at Bull Moose and I am about to do this year's Record Store Day Black Friday preview video for 2015. I hope you enjoy it. I've got some pretty entertaining stuff here. And I'll tell you, I'm filming this the weekend before Black Friday, so I don't have all the releases in hand. I apologize for that if I don't show you something you really wanted to see. And also, the weather has been really crummy. I live in Maine, as you may know, and it's been gloomy and crappy out all weekend long. So I needed something really awesome. I've got a little bit of a drizzle here in my nose. I needed something really awesome to get myself psyched up for the video. So what was I listening to? A great Record Store Day release. What really cheered me up and made me feel awesome, and it'll make you awesome if you get it too, is this. The RUN-DMC The Singles Collection, which is a box set of 5 singles, 5 7-inches, and it's done by Get On Down, which, as you may know, is a label that does a great job with especially with the kind of repackaging and just making these awesome versions of the like classic hip hop catalog. Great label, and I'm going to tell you why I'm so excited. So here we go. These are, of course, really important singles in the development of hip hop and popular music in general. Helped bring hip hop to a lot more people, a wider audience, and they're also just a hell of a lot of fun. These are great things. So what do we have on here? We have It's Like That, backed with Sucker MCs, and you'll notice it's in a generic profile sleeve, and they also have the old style profile label on here, and everything in this box set comes with a paper inner sleeve to protect your record. Definitely appreciate that. Get On Down. Thank you for taking care with our records here. Here we go. Live at the Fun House, and there's 2 versions of that on here. One is the bleeped out version. Again, a different generic profile sleeve here. Now the other 3 all have picture sleeve. We got Walk This Way, which was great, and it promos here. Both albums, Raising Hell and King of Rock. You got My Adidas Peter Piper. There you go. And if you notice, what I like about this, it says from the LP, Raising Hell. And this one is from the forthcoming LP, then forthcoming, Tougher Than Leather, and it's Run's House, Beats to the Rhyme. All great music, and a wonderful piece. One of my favorites, actually, from this year. Now, let's do soundtracks, because people like soundtracks. It's a big deal right now. So if there's one soundtrack that's probably most... I ruined the surprise, didn't I? Yeah, that's right. High Fidelity soundtrack is, really associated with record stores. If you've read the book or seen the movie, you know that all the main characters, except for the girlfriend, are record store employees. There's the owner here, John Cusack. So it takes place either in his store or in his apartment, which, is kind of full of records. So I'm going to hold the soundtrack, the backup, just so you can see what's on it, because if you look at it, what you will notice is that many of the artists on the soundtrack have released Record Store Day pieces. The Kinks, and have done a bunch. We've got 2 Kinks 45s. I'll show you later. Love, Bob Dylan. I think Elvis Costello maybe has. I'm not sure. I think Stereolab did. Jack Black, as a member of Tenacious D, has, and there's a Tenacious D live album, which I won't be showing you later, but it does exist for this Record Store Day Black Friday. And the Velvet Underground, who had a Record Store Day release in previous years. They don't have one this year, but their song here, they have 2 songs, but Oh Sweet Nothing, there are actually 2 cover versions of Oh Sweet Nothing coming out this Record Store Day. Quite a coincidence. I also have the True Detective soundtrack, and what makes this special for Record Store Day is that the Record Store Day version has 2 LPs, and the second one has a bunch of cues from the score. So you have the soundtrack with the songs, and then just the regular score. Also have the Love and Mercy, which is a Brian Wilson biopic soundtrack. the you know, what, let's see, this is colored vinyl. We don't know what color it is. Surprise for you when you open it. And there's also a 2 LP blue swirl version of Brian's self-titled album that will be coming out as well. Another, I think, kind of important soundtrack. This is the history of amphetamine, or amphetamine reptile, also called AmRep, the color of noise. And you know, this has a lot of really interesting music from people like, you got Mudhoney, God Bullies, Unsane, Helmet, the Melvins, Cows, Helios Creed. Good stuff on there to check out. Also, the sound. That was that last one. Sons of Anarchy. Picture discs. That's the front side of one picture disc. Here's the back side of the other picture disc. And if you want to see the other side, you're just going to have to buy it. One last soundtrack LP I want to show you. And this is a really cool one. I'm going to take some time with this because it's really fun. It is the soundtrack to the 1986 Transformers movie. And check this out. The soundtrack, well, I'll show you. It's nice. So there's a great sort of gatefold image. Look at that. Nice, crazy, chaotic scene there. But check this out. So you can actually transform the cover from an Autobot into a Decepticon. I think that's pretty creative, don't you? I don't have any other records that do that. That's awesome. And you see we have another battle scene, or just, I guess they're just standing there looking tough on the inside. Great text. And if that's not all, the records are really cool too. So we have a transparent red one and a transparent purple one. But as you can see, it's actually kind of marbled, and it looks sort of red because it's you know, up against that orange cabinet, but it's actually purple swirl, and both of them have a nice etching on the B side. I think we can. So let's look at the LPs. Well, I'm going to do these in, well, no, maybe not exactly in order. We're going to do these sort of in order. We're going to do reverse alphabetical order. So we'll start with do them Z to A, and we're going to start with the Zombies. So first, I'll show you the Zombies sticker, live at the BBC sticker. This is technically a first release album, and you can understand why, considering how important it is. It's the BBC. There's their BBC sessions, and it has a really nice, it's very well annotated by Andrew Sandoval, who's actually their guy, who I think he's got all their tapes and all their stuff, which is why the Res Saraband is able to do such a nice job with their Zombies reissues the last few years. Well, actually, they've been working that catalog for about 10 years or 15 or something. But anyway, the reason they can sound so good and better than previous editions, because a lot of these BBC stuff has been kicking around for a while, is that they own the tapes. So Andrew's giving them access to stuff that's higher quality, and they're not using like old digitized stuff that was done in, you know, the late 80s or the 90s. They can do fresh transfers and make them sound super awesome. And that's especially important when you're thinking about like these BBC sessions, because if you've heard like the Yardbirds BBC sets or the Beatles ones, if you're into 60s music, hopefully you have both. That stuff, some of it can sound pretty rough because the BBC didn't necessarily keep much of anything. A lot of these came from collectors. And anyway, this is a lot of fun. It's all in mono, and it's just great. It's just great. And there's one last thing I want to say, which is if you're a collector and you're sitting on some recordings you may have, probably UK fans, if you've got stuff, I hope you can get them to Varese Saraband, or to, because I'm sure they would love to upgrade this set someday, and they're really good folks there, so I don't think they're going to sue you like maybe other bands have a reputation for doing. So yeah, or if you want, you know, you can send them to me, and I could get them there or whatever. Please get in touch if you have them. Continuing on with Z, we have, you know, when I first saw this, I was like, whoa, I didn't know there was a Slayer release. No, it's actually not Slayer. It's Frank Zappa and feeding the monkeys at Ma Maison. And these are some of his synclavier recordings. This, I think, came out on CD a couple years ago, so the first vinyl release. And yeah, it's Zappa. I still think it looks like a Slayer album cover, but what it is, right? Here's another first release, right? Ween, The Pod. This is their second album, and it's a gatefold. It's on clear vinyl, and it's pretty weird. Vitamin String Quartet, you know, they do like string quartet covers of different albums. This year it's The Moon and Antarctica by Modest Mouse. On black vinyl. Got a cool picture disc for you. The Sword, this is their latest album, and it's a very interesting package because what's great is you can kind of just unfold it and you can see everything. There they are, looking like rock stars. Very cool. And I think the straight up black vinyl that came out around the time of the CD, I think that may be unavailable. So, well, here you have it. Very good stuff. This is the first release of Sunn O. Some people call him just Sunn. Some people call him Sunn O. Of course, they're named after the amplifier. And this is the first release of the soundtrack. It's on white vinyl. And a very cool thing for Record Store Day is that it comes out first on Black Friday. So if you want the white vinyl, and then if you want CD or black vinyl or digital, you got to wait a week. So a nice treat from Sunn for you know, true believing record store fans. Now, you know how much I was enjoying that RUN-DMC box set. So here's another. This is Schooly D. Check it out. So they've done a nice job. This is a 12-inch of, you know, plenty to look at while you're listening, and not just that, but so here I'm going to show you. There's so much to show you here. First of all, we have, you know, depending on what kind of music you listen to, you may or may not have seen what people are doing with split vinyl these days. But there you are, and you can see it kind of gets smeared in the middle. And a bunch of us were lucky to get a tour of URP, United Record Pressing in Nashville. Hi, Jay. And the way we found out how they make them is records come like before it gets pressed, you get like a thing like a big hockey puck that's vinyl, and what the like vinyl that then gets you know, squished, and they use steam to melt it, and that presses the grooves into it. But so what they've started doing for something like this is you take like a yellow puck and a clear puck and you cut them in half, and then you do a half yellow and half clear, and then you do it, right? And you can see here in the middle when it all smears together. That's how they did that, and I would not know that except if I hadn't taken that tour. Now, I'm not even done talking about this because this is a great release. You get, all right, so you get a nice, you get, you know, this, I don't know what you call, paper. You get this great paper booklet, four-sided thing with all kinds of stuff in there. Interview, with, you know, it's very cool. And a sticker sheet. Yes, a sticker sheet. And that looks cool. As you can see, I haven't pulled that apart yet, but that's awesome. You can put them on your lunch pail or what have you. Still going. All right. Another one, right? Linda Ronstadt. Now, there's been a little bit of talk this last week. A music industry executive suggested that women need help from boys to figure out what to listen to. So fortunately for all of us, there was nobody around. There was nobody around to tell Linda Ronstadt what to listen to. So she just made her own music, and it's awesome. And I think this is black vinyl. Let me just double check that. Yes. Oh, wait. But I want to show you this. Look. This is another Res Saraband awesome thing, because look at that. They've copied the old Capitol Records logo. And if you pull out like, hang on. I think it's from Big Pink. I think this is an original press. Yeah. Okay, cool. So look. So there, that's a vintage. That's what it looked like. Yeah, look at that. So I think the purple's a slightly different color purple, but they nailed it pretty much. So don't worry about the color purple. What else do we have going? Oh yeah. Another popular series that we have kind of all year round, but just on CD. The only time the vinyl comes out is for Record Store Day. It's the Rockabye Baby series, which is like lullaby things, and now we have Fleetwood Mac, and there you are. Colored vinyl, download card, oh, and a mini coloring book. That would be very cool. All right, now with Revolutionaires Sounds 2. This is dub stuff. Check it out. Very cool, from Channel 1 Studio. All right, very good. Important stuff here. Oh, and I like this one here. So Queen, right? Bohemian Rhapsody. You'll have it. And what I just want to give them a shout out is that, like, it's only $7, which is, I think, a great price for a 12-inch, because a lot of 7 inches cost more than that. Love that. And it's also nice because they've got the it's got that fold over thing, which will remind you more like how like a UK 12-inch would be. That's a good thing. It's a good thing to have. Makes it more fun. Pujol, Kisses, and this has you know, a nice, there you go. There we are. I'll show you the back. And this just says first. This is trying me that it's a first issue for Record Store Day first. It'll be out later if you miss it. And let's pause for a second while we talk about the distinctions of the different categories. Now you have the Record Store Day exclusive. That's supposed to be your only chance to get it. And if something is planned that they're going to put it out later, sometimes the Record Store Day version is a different color or has an extra little thing in there. But if it's going to be available later, we try to tell you if the label is telling us that. And the good thing about it is that gives you an opportunity or a reason to come back like next week. You know, if you can't get, you may need to get another paycheck or two under your belt. But so just know that this will probably still be available in the stores a little longer than some of these other ones that might sell out that first day. So you could always come back for them. And that's actually something that we see at Bull Moose. We see that a lot, where those sort of have a longer lifespan because there's more of them. And then if you miss it, it's cool because like in a couple months you'll have another chance. Now there's this 9-inch Nails box set. This is the Pretty Hate Machine and the 12 inches that came around the same time. So it's 4 pieces of records. 4 pieces of records. No, it's 4 whole records. Pardon me. Oh, all right. Mighty Mighty Bosstones. Very cool. Gatefold cover double album. It's nice. We seem to get a Bosstones thing just about every Record Store Day now, which is very cool. Mgmt. I think this is their first release, and it's on glow in the dark vinyl. And there's no way that I can possibly show that off to you here. Well, here's a find: a 1959 recording of Wes Montgomery with Eddie Higgins Trio, and this has never been issued before. It's a Record Store Day first edition, and it's coming out first on Record Store Day. And as you can see, the Record Store Day version is hand numbered, and it's, let's see, pressed at RTI. And another interesting thing about the back is right here. You can see mastered by Bernie Grundman, but it's actually, it's like a little sticker stuck on there. So I don't know what the deal is there. So, you know, I don't know if we have like a Beatles butcher cover situation here. Probably not, Zev, but you can let us know what the deal was there. Anyhow, something cool. Very cool, exciting that, and that's Resonance Records. For those of you who are, you know, they're a newer label, last few years, but they've been unearthing some really great stuff. So I encourage you to check that out if you're a jazz fan. We have John Cougar Mellencamp Scarecrow back in print, and this is the album that has that song R-O-C-K in the R-S-D, R-O-C-K in the R. 2 new songs from Megadeth. These will be on their forthcoming 2016 album, but if you want to own them, you can own them first Friday. Now, hold on. I need some, this next record, I need some, just a second, special protection before I pick it up, because it's, yeah, just make sure. Okay, yeah. It's a collaboration, and it's 2 guys who, yeah, I think that's okay now. 2 guys, it's pretty far from either of their best work, but you could see it was getting blurry there just thinking about this. So it's pretty far from being either their best work, but it's pretty it's pretty intense. And just be careful when you listen to it, because it's got a way of the song is one of those songs that just like right gets right in your head, and you'll never be able to forget it. It's of course "Say Say Say" by Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson, and I'm not kidding. It really is a very amazingly catchy song. Now, something a little bit more obscure, Eric Matthews. This is a album Sub Pop released about 20 years ago. Well, exactly 20 years ago. This is the 20th anniversary edition of this album, and it was a big deal then. When made a lot of like best of album lists that year, and it's on silver vinyl. They've got 5 bonus tracks on it. But just to give you a little thing, there's only 500 of these. So if you think you're into it, make sure that you get it. Don't wait around. And it's kind of lush orchestral kind of. I guess you call it orchestral pop, sort of. But I mean, it's on Sub Pop, so it's not like orchestral pop. Also means like not like say this, not that. One more before I take my gear off here. Dave Matthews Band live tracks. This is the 5th box set in the series, and they made 2,000 of these this time. So thank you, Dave, for making more. I don't think it's going to have to be such a scramble to get these. So, I think we're hopefully at the point where every fan will have an easy time getting one. That's the goal anyhow. So one very important release that we're all just super proud of is, because we had a little teeny bit of involvement in helping get this thing done, is the film Jaco. And, I don't have a copy of it here. Now, it's a documentary about the bass player Jaco Pastorius that's produced by the amazing bass player and super nice guy, Robert Trujillo, best known for being in Metallica now, but Mr. Trujillo was also in bands like Infectious Grooves, and played with like Ozzy, and he was in Suicidal Tendencies for a bunch of stuff, including one of the albums that he plays on is being released. I think it's a normal Black Friday release, or just not a record store day thing, but just coming out, or maybe it's just coming out in a couple weeks. It's the Feels Like Shit. So double dose of Robert Trujillo this time around. But let's talk about Jaco. So Jaco is he was a fusion bass player who had a really quick rise to fame, and he just blew everybody away when he came on the scene. He played with like a real, not quite aggressive style, but it was like he was at the forefront of anything he was doing in a way that you think of like basically playing lead bass, and he was like I said, he was a fusion guy, but his influence is still felt, because any of the rock bass players that you like now were probably influenced by somebody who was influenced by Jaco. So people of the generation like of Trujillo, Flea, Mike Watt, I'm guessing even maybe Les Claypool, some of those people who lead the bands with their bass playing, heard that, and some of them are in this movie talking about it. So it's great to hear people who defined rock bass really paying their respects to jazz bassists. I love that kind of like genre bending there. And so I know when I was learning bass guitar in the like late 80s, early 90s, people like Flea blew my mind. And so just the way that like Clapton brought people back to B.B. King, people my age like Flea, and maybe the guy in Jane's Addiction, I don't know, like that idea like the bass is going to be way out in front of the band, kind of like push you back to see where they got it from. And, it's a great movie. One last thing I want to say about the film is, like, say, you don't necessarily have to be a fan of bass guitar or fusion jazz fusion to enjoy this film. It's like the Metallica movie, some kind of monster, where if you're just interested in a good story, well done, um, you'll enjoy this film. And oh, one more. The real last thing I want to say about this is that you want to find the Record Store Day Black Friday version of this, because it includes a CD of Robert Trujillo's band Mass Mental. And that's very hard. That music's very hard to buy in the US. So make sure you seek out that version. But if you miss it, it is available without that. And I really encourage you to check it out. It was, oh yeah, and all the Record Store Day people, the stores that like participate in it and help kind of get it together, we all fell in love with it so much that we made it. It was the 2014 official film of Record Store Day a year and a half ago. And Michael, who does a lot of the day-to-day stuff in Record Store Day, some footage that he took as a teenager. He took some Super 8 footage that actually he gave it to Robert, and Robert put it in the movie. So there's all these connections. And there have been 2 Jaco releases for previous Record Store Days. So check those out. Go to the Peace section. It's great. And the soundtrack to the movie is also coming out on Black Friday. It's a normal release, so it'll just be everywhere on both CD and vinyl, I believe. Wow, that's a lot, but it's very close to my heart. Let's talk 7 inches. Let's talk 7 inches. So I got one here. All right, Link Ray. Talk about, and this is the song Rumble, which was one of those songs that in the late 50s that kind of gave you a new idea. Well, not me, because I wasn't around, but gave people who were teenagers then a new idea of what the electric guitar could be. So I'm thinking like people like Eric Clapton and some of those people, probably George Harrison, would have heard that and tried to figure that stuff out. So that's pretty cool. Here's something else I don't have, just to remind myself. It's the S.O.D, Stormtroopers of Death, and the Deftones. They have a split 7-inch with the S.O.D song Milk. Rich Robinson from the Black Crowes, as you can see, transparent blue vinyl. The B-side is a new song that you haven't heard before, and the A-side is his cover of the Velvet Underground song, Oh Sweet Nothing, which is on the High Fidelity soundtrack, also coming out on Record Store Day Black Friday. And believe it or not, Shooter Jennings and Lucas Nelson are doing their own version of Oh Sweet Nothing as well, and that's coming out on Record Store Day Black Friday. So you could get the Oh Sweet Nothing trifecta, hat trick, if you're looking for it. All right, pretend this is the Otis Redding 7-inch shake kind of song. You want it, works great on a 7-inch, like those Run-DMC songs I mentioned earlier, where you want to just hear it over and over again. Break your heart a little bit. Guy I really like, Shuggie Otis, and I'm excited for this because it's a new song by him, new recording, and it's on gold vinyl. The B-side is an instrumental version of it, which could be fun. All right, The Far Side, and you know the song Running. You should, and if you don't, you will after this. I want to show you this. It's another one of those really cool, so check it out, right? We appreciate this. Thank you very much for putting it in, just taking the extra nickel or whatever it costs the record company to help us protect our records. And look at that. Transparent, clear, well, it's clear and opaque, light blue vinyl. So that's a pretty looking thing. That's a pretty looking thing. There are 2 Kinks EPs. These are both EPs, so between 2 of them, you get 8 songs. We also have the original theme from the 1960s TV series Batman, right? And the B-side is the Bat Tootsie, which I think, I'm not sure, I don't remember the episode 2 of. I think like, rock and roll makes people do bad things, so King Tut or somebody makes people dance and they get out of control. Or I don't know. I might be wrong about that. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. This next 7-inch to me represents 1,000 different releases this year, and it's by a local New England artist, and so it's not official Record Store Day by any means. It's coming out on Black Friday, but I'm bringing up this Karissa Johnson 7-inch to represent all the local releases that stores all across the world champion. So you think of like, like when I hear Karissa Johnson, I hear somebody who should be and probably will be famous someday, and I'm rooting for her with everything. And a lot of people at Bull Moose feel this way about her music. And your store in your town has probably fallen in love with some artists in your area just as much and want to see them succeed. And, we actually kind of help that by helping fans connect with these artists and paying them so that they can then, buy a new guitar or not have to work so much or, release their next thing or whatever it is they need to do. So it's really important. And so I want to show you this Karissa Johnson record, although it might be hard for you to get in your local area. So here, it's a beautiful 7-inch and really nice artwork, gatefold cover with the, look, we got the lyrics inside, which is nice. Here's the back. And the record itself is everyone's different. So this one is green and red, kind of greenish, reddish brown, but everyone is a different mix of different colors. And technically it's a record store day first release because it'll there'll be a wide release in January. Another holiday record. I'm not going to say the name because then it becomes, I don't have to check a different box when we upload it on a YouTube, but Eazy-E, Merry Something Christmas. Classic tune. And now another 7-inch again. Oh, this is just to remind me, this isn't actually it. So knock, knock. Okay, so if I say knock, knock, you say, right. And then if I go, you know what it is, right? Yeah, that's right. Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight. That couldn't be anything else. You wouldn't even have to say who. You'd say, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. And so it's coming out. It's sort of in advance of a Phil Collins reissue campaign that's going to happen next year. A couple of his albums, being bonus tracks, box set. But for this, we get In the Air Tonight, 7-inch with a comic book, 12-page comic book that comes in there. Pretty exciting. Now, should we get back to let's get back to some 12-inch records. All right. This is, oh yes. Speaking of launching a reissue campaign, Rhino, my favorite label is Rhino. And I'm wearing the shirt to represent the fact that I love the label, even though I'm having to kind of fake showing all their stuff. So apologies to everybody there. The band Lush, who they were on 4AD before they had their deal here in the U.S. in the late 80s. There's a Best Of album that's coming out first for Black Friday Record Store Day. And if you're into any of those 4AD bands like the Pixies, they're a little bit like more ethereal and breathy than the Pixies, although there's some tracks where there's that grittiness that you have on the Pixies, and I think those are going to be on the box set. There's a box set coming out in a couple months that'll have those. But now, Best Of, just to get you psyched up for it. But I do kind of want to mention that if you're into that, you should also know there's a Jesus and Mary Chain reissue of Barbed Wire Kisses is coming out, and also B-52's a live show from 1979, and there's Buzzcocks as well. So that's exciting. Another one, what is this? Oh, yeah. Nick Lowe had a holiday album last year. I think it was 2 years ago. Last year we had a picture disc for Black Friday Record Store Day, and that was a holiday album. He did a tour last December and November with Los Straitjackets playing holiday songs. So now we have a live album of Nick Lowe, solo acoustic, Nick Lowe backed up by Los Straitjackets, and Los Straitjackets, who also I think have released a pretty darn great holiday album. Now that I think about it, they're also playing by themselves on that. So to kind of replicate the concert experience, keep your eyes open for that. Probably looks better than that thing. Now this is cool. I'm going to hold this right up because look, buzzsaw shaped record. It's Judas Priest, Painkiller. And this This is to remind me that there's a Waylon Jennings live album recorded in 1979. His son Shooter says it's the best live album, best live live album of any kind of Waylon type stuff. So, oh, you might have heard there was going to be a Joan Jett like a demos album. That got pushed back a couple weeks, so you can still get it. It's a wide release though, so everybody will have it. But the thing I want to think about that was that, remember how before I was talking about, she's one of those people who, boy, aren't we lucky there was no guy around to tell her what she should be listening to, like that guy said on the internet a couple days ago, because she just like decided to make her own kick-ass music, so that got pushed back. I don't know what the pressing deal was. But I want to talk about Karissa Johnson one more time, because there's a story I forgot to tell before, which is this, that she actually, the place that was pressing it, they were like, I think she had first thought we were going to be getting these records in January. Well, when the pressing plant she was using found out that she was hoping to do it for Record Store Day, they rushed it and actually surprised her. So like a day and a half ago, they just showed up at her place. She didn't even know it. So she rushed up to drop them off, helped me stack wood, and was super duper awesome about it. And the reason I connect her to Joan Jett is that's the kind of thing that, like, true, honest rock and roll with a punky thing and like an attitude and like a thing to say. And look at this. This is another one of her records. This is the same thing, but you might get a purple copy, marble purple and red. What a great package. What a great artist. And again, there's probably somebody just as awesome as her in your town who you really ought to check out. Just ask the folks at the store and they can help you find somebody, local artist who, matches your taste. We have a pretty cool picture disc, J Electronica. And you get the thing here in one color, and then you get it just in black and white. And I guess that's a Van de Graaff generator he's sitting in front of there. Not that kind of Van de Graaff generator, though. International Submarine Band. I think we've had their last Record Store Day issue just like disappear and in no time sold super fast. So fortunately Sundays is doing another one. You got another chance to get one of these. This album is called Safe at Home. Now Tompkins Square is like a label that does a great job of finding these wicked old stuff, really cool things. So here we have a Roscoe Holcomb record. You can see him there. You get a good chance of what it is. Recorded in 1972. That's going to be pretty great. John Lee Hooker. Here we are. Look at that. And if you see the song Boom Boom Dimples, wait, that's the back side. What the heck? I don't know which is the front and which is the back, folks, but the barcode's on this side, so that's probably the front. Anyhow, a bunch of really good songs, and you should check that out. This is pretty cool. We got, so Ben Harper, right? Fight for Your Mind. That was a really popular album. So there's this really neat thing, and I don't know if you can tell. You see how it sort of shimmers there? That's not just the glare from my computer screen. It's actually, there's a metallic sheen to the record there. And should mention that 500 copies of this are signed by Ben. So good luck. I hope you find one. Another record. All right, Glitch Mob, and this is pretty cool because it's what they've done. This is Love, Death, Immortality, which is a whole album, and then they have the piece of the Indestructible 10-inch is like shrink wrapped on top of it in the same package. Pretty awesome there. Now, what else do we got? Oh yeah, Garbage. Garbage is self-titled. This is like a 20th anniversary of that. And it's like a quadruple, looks like a quadruple or triple, at least triple, maybe quadruple gatefold. I'm not going to spoil the surprise by opening it up. Neil Finn and Paul Kelly, Going Your Way, which is a live album from 2 years ago. Wasn't released on vinyl at the time because it was like a DVD and a double CD. So they've got highlights on the record for that for this year. What is this? Deerhoof live in Japan. And not only does it have the MP3 download card, but you can download a video of the concert as well. So that is pretty nice. Damnation AD. This is from the limited or regional release categories. So don't wait. If you need one of those, make sure you grab it. And what's Coheed and Cambria? Color Before the Sun, which is demos. We've had some Coheed and Cambria demos before. They're always generous with their stuff. I think that's very nice of them. Thank you. Cardigans. Gatefold. Exciting. Okay, Bowie. I think this is Clear Earthling. Sorry, Translucent Green this time around. Translucent Green. This is a Record Store Day first release of this behemoth album. Pandemonic Incantations. Sort of, I think, like an ecumenical kind of situation there, and that's on gold vinyl. Here we have Jeff Beck album. This is a live. This is a first release, and oh, it's split. The shrink wrap split. Well, that happens. Speaking of Jeff Beck, here's regular Beck, plain Beck. Dreams. Now, I know you've all been wondering about this because it's being described as a puffy sleeve. And so I'm going to show you. It's actually, I would say, it's another way of describing it is embossed. So the clouds kind of puff up. The letters puff up. So you've got his face. His face is one level. Then you got the letters puffed up a little bit. And then the clouds puff up a little bit on that. And for you Ween fans, we mentioned Ween before. Puffy Clouds isn't on the pod, so never mind. And all right, just two more records I want to show you. This one here, Animals as Leaders. And this is pretty cool. We get 3 bonus tracks. This has been out before, but you get 3 bonus tracks and enhanced artwork with 3D imagery and custom 3D glasses included. So again, one of those things impossible to show you on a webcam. So check it out. And this last one is Terry Adams from NRBQ did a whole album of Thelonious Monk songs. So I can't imagine that that's anything less than interesting and bizarre and weird and ragged and just, you know, could be really cool. So that's really what we got here. That's what I got to show you. I know your local store would love to see you on Black Friday. They'd love to see you anytime you want to come in. They're always happy to see you. And I'm always happy to have you watch the video. I hope you have a really nice Thanksgiving if you you know, do that. And I hope you find some great records. And I hope there's just a lot of really super awesome music in your life. Because it's a beautiful thing, and thank you for watching, and thank you for, you know, shopping at your store. And if you're a label person who helped put one of these things together, you know, thank you. And well, that's it.